Hi, I'm Steve Kalba with LIB Magazine. We're here at Village Cigar headquarters in Patchogue, New York. We're here with New York Knicks legend John Starks. John, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, yeah.
And he's introducing his new cigar line, Legend Cigar Series 3. Tell us about that.
We have three particular blends. We have all Dominican feel cigar with a Brazilian Maduro wrap on one of them. And then we have a same feel, Dominican feel, with a Connecticut wrap. And then we have the same feel, Dominican feel, with a Corojo Maduro wrap on it.
How long have you been a cigar entrepreneur?
Well, we've been in it since about 7 years now, and we just launched the line, John Starks Series number 3, about 3 years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, which I wanted to make sure that I come out with an excellent cigar. I just didn't want to put my name on anything.
And how do you do the research for these cigars? You have like people testing it, taste testing. Do you actually taste it yourself?
I taste and have a helping hand in the blend. So I go down to Dominican Republic to the factory and get with the blender, and he gives me a lot of products to test, and then I just settled on these 3 particular products.
And now with this trade embargo lifted from Cuba, now is that anything now? The difference between a Cuban cigar and a Dominican cigar, have you noticed yourself any difference with that, or is this,
Yeah, both cigars are very good. Dominican product is very good. Obviously, Cuban products is very good. I think it's just the lure of just hard to get a Cuban cigar. I think what people are fascinated by, but Dominican make great cigars.
A little bit about your career. Well, let's go back for a second to June 17th, 1994, Game 5, the NBA Finals. Now, in the middle of the game, when did you realize that there was some commotion going on and there was suddenly the attention was being shifted to something else going on television? I myself was with my friends watching the living room there to watch the finals, and then suddenly, breaking news, something happens. We see a white Bronco chasing down the LA freeway. What's going on here? When did you realize that day that something was amiss? Like when did you realize
that?
Well,
we knew coming into halftime because the TV was on at our player lounge, and we were walking by the TV, and they had the big, Bronco on there with all the police cars behind it, and so we knew that, what was happening during that time, and Coach Riley was going through his speech during halftime. Everybody was like wanting to get back out there and see if anything had unfolded, but we were walking back through the player lounge going out to the court, and everybody kind of like easing their way back, looking as we were walking through the door, and so we knew that something was going on, but we had to kind of focus on the game. Obviously, we had a tough opponent in the Houston Rockets that we had to go out there and face.
You beat him that game, and that was a great game for you guys. Unfortunately, how did that feel? Like, kind of, I don't say upstaged by that. Did you feel like, my God, your spot was blown? You had this distraction going on there to that. Did that bother you a little bit?
No, it didn't bother us at all. We out here to play basketball. That's just news. So guys was really focused in on, once we took the court, that we had, the Houston Rockets that we had to go out there and beat.
Also, now you went undrafted out of Oklahoma State. Now tell us how difficult, the chances of that happening today for a player, to go undrafted, for the odds you face, and then to go from there and then become a superstar, the NBA. Tell us how difficult that is for players today.
But it's tough, you know what I mean? In any sport, to not be drafted, and you have to go in and beat guys out that's already up on the board, so to speak. But you have to want it. And when I came out, I knew I had the talent to play against anybody, and so I knew that I had to go in there and with a big bang and make a splash. And so I kind of formulated a plan once I got an opportunity to try out for the San Antonio Spurs. It wasn't so much about my offense. I put a lot of emphasis on my defense and stopping people, because everybody can score in the league. Not enough defensive players. So I think that's what really got me noticed, is that I can go out there and play great defense.
So who was the biggest influence in your career? Do you think that helped you get to the next level? Would you say it was one person, or was it like a bunch of people? Who was it?
A combination of a lot of people, but one particular person was my older brother, Vincent, who saw something in me and knew that I had the talent to go a long way in playing basketball. So he kind of pushed me to levels that I didn't think I could reach, and so I have to give him a lot of credit.
Now, who's your favorite coach to play for? I mean, that could be tough. I don't mean to put you on the spot there,
No
but I mean,
problem.
would you say, the best, easiest to play for?
Well, Coach Riley obviously was the best. He understood players, and because he was a player, and he know that during an 82 game season plus playoffs plus preseason, that you have to stay focused, as much as possible, and so his whole mentality was making sure that his players understood that every game is definitely a new beginning, when you step out there on the court. And so he helped me grow as a player when I came to the Knicks because I was a young player, still raw. And so he helped me hone in on some of the skills that I needed to improve on, which helped me have a 13-year career.
What did you now when Michael Jordan went to go play baseball? How did you feel? What was the general perception? Like, what did everybody think about that move at the time?
I was sad, to be honest with you, because as a competitor like I am, I want to play against the best, right, night in and night out. So, most people probably was happy that he was leaving, that they had the opportunity, but I wanted to go through the best in order to get a championship. And when he left, it was just kind of like a lull on the season in '94. But eventually he came back in '96 with a big splash, and ended up winning 3 straight championships after that.
Picked up where he left off.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Now the team. Now how do you feel about the state of the NBA today, and the Knicks especially? Like, how do you feel about what the state of them right now?
Well, I think the NBA is at an all-time high right now. I think you have some very talented players, a lot of superstars in the league right now. Social media helps that. The internet helps that, and but the personality helps that too. And I think these guys are very talented. Getting to the Knicks, I think that we're moving in the right direction, which I'm excited about. I think Phil did a great job over the summer acquiring some very talented players. We're a much bigger team than we have been in the past, which is very good. And so I'm excited about this upcoming season, and I can't wait for it to get started.
Now you say you wanted to play against the best. How much did you, with LeBron James? How much did you really want to face it like LeBron James? You didn't get to play right. It was
I was retiring that year when he came in. So he came in 2002, and I was leaving the league at that particular time. It'd have been fun to play against LeBron. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's probably the best player right now in the league overall, as far as what he can do out there on the court. And so, it's been a lot of fun to see how we would defend him.
So who do you think? I mean, obviously you didn't play him, but would you say him compared to Jordan? What do you think objectively looking at it?
Yeah, they're two different players. Michael is more of an assassin than LeBron is. Obviously LeBron had some knocks on him early in his career that he didn't have that killer instinct. But you can see he's getting that now. But Michael, right off the bat, had that killer instinct inside of him. And one thing about Michael, he probably was the most clutch player that I ever seen play the game. You really didn't see him make mistakes, especially in big games. You rarely see him make mistakes. The only mistake I could really say he made probably was against Orlando. Right. That's when he just came back, at the end of the season for Chicago. That's probably the only mistake I ever seen him make.
Because he came back too.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a little rusty, but he made up for it the next 3 years. So, yeah.
You also have a charity. Tell us about your charity.
Yeah, it's the John Starks Foundation, and I raise money for kids in the tri-state area, graduating students who plan on going to college, and so we help provide them scholarships. I've been doing it for about 20 years now, so we was able to send a lot of incredible kids to college, and so we want to continue to do that for the next 20, 40, 50 years, hopefully.
Wow, and I remember I heard somewhere that you prayed one time. The guy said, like, when things were tough back before you went to college, and you prayed to God, and then you got that job, and things started taking up. Then do you think what you went through as a kid? What advice would you give to a child today?
Well, I think first and foremost you have to believe in yourself, and if you're living in certain environments, you have to make sure that you rise above your environment and keep focused on your dream and not let anybody discourage you. There's roadblocks out there, but you have to be able to get over those roadblocks and keep pushing yourself to greatness.
Well, John, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work.